Building on this, Annie Denver's confirmation of the rumor about John Denver happened in the late 1970s, a few years after his tragic death. She revealed that there had been whispers for some time about an incident involving John that was kept secret. According to her, John was under a great deal of stress during that period, which may have contributed to the rumors. Annie explained that they had discussed his struggles with fame, health problems, and the pressures of the music industry, all of which affected his mental state. She added that he had confided in her about fears of losing control and feeling overwhelmed, yet he was also determined to continue his work. Annie's statement clarified some long-standing questions and dispelled certain misconceptions about that mysterious last flight. She expressed sadness over the passing and noted that he wanted his legacy to be based on his music and message rather than the tragic way he died. This confirmation changed how many fans viewed his final days and helped bring some closure. Her words revealed a deeper understanding of John Denver's life and the hidden struggles behind his success. The details she shared opened a new chapter in remembering him, emphasizing his humanity beyond the star image. The story of his rise, the secret rumors, and the tragic end remain intertwined, shaping how fans and the public remember his enduring influence. Certainly, Henry John Don Deendorf Jr., known as John Denver, was born on December 31, 1943 in Roswell, New Mexico. From a young age, he developed a strong interest in planes, which was sparked by his father, a pilot in the United States Air Force. His father played a key role in nurturing his fascination by teaching him how to fly. As a child, Denver was surrounded by moving from place to place due to his family's frequent relocations. During the late 1940s and early 1950s, his family lived in several different states, including Oklahoma, Arizona, Alabama, and Texas. These childhood movements exposed him to various environments and helped shape his love for nature and the outdoors, themes often reflected in his music later in life. His early exposure to flying and diverse places contributed to his interests, blending his passion for music with a love for adventure and the skies. This foundation of curiosity and exploration stayed with him throughout his life, influencing both his career and personal pursuits. Denver's childhood experiences, especially his early fascination with planes and constant changing surroundings, played a significant role in shaping his artistic spirit and his dedication to advocating environmental causes. From a young age, John Denver found safety and comfort in nature because his childhood was full of constant moving, and he didn't have a stable home. The unstable environment made him seek peace outdoors, where he felt calmer and more at ease. When he was 11 years old, his grandmother gave him a 1910 Gibson acoustic guitar. This guitar became a special part of his life, offering him a sense of stability amid the chaos. The guitar was always with him and helped him connect to his feelings and creativity. As he grew older, his music grew in popularity, and he started to perform in large arenas all over the United States, drawing huge crowds. His songs often reflected his love for the outdoors and his spiritual beliefs. Denver also shared poems and prayers, showing his deep respect for nature and his desire to spread kindness and hope through his music. Despite his fame and success, he never forgot how the simple act of playing his guitar and being in nature brought him peace during difficult times. His music and his poems touched many people and inspired them to find their own safety and happiness in the natural world. After a show in Minnesota, John Denver met his future wife, Annie Martell, and their meeting became a significant moment in his life. Inspired by his love for Annie, he wrote the heartfelt song Annie's Song, which reflected his deep feelings and became one of his most famous works. Denver's music career took off with the release of several hit songs, but perhaps the most notable was Take Me Home Country Roads. This song was a huge success, selling over 1 million copies, making it Denver's first song to reach such a milestone. It quickly gained popularity and became an enduring classic, loved by many fans around the world. During the late 1960s to the mid-1970s, Denver produced a total of 6 records. Out of these, 4 achieved market success, showing that his music resonated with a wide audience and that he was a prominent figure in the music scene during that time. His ability to craft songs that touched on themes of love, home, and nature helped him stand out in the industry. Denver's career was marked by a series of successful albums and memorable songs, which continue to be appreciated by music lovers even today. His work not only reflected his personal life, but also often conveyed messages of harmony with nature and the importance of home and family. His contributions to music remain significant, and his songs continue to inspire many. John Denver's song Rocky Mountain High holds a special place in the hearts of many. The iconic tune not only became one of Denver's signature songs, but also went on to become the state song of Colorado. The song reflects Denver's deep love for the mountains and the beauty of nature, capturing the feeling of freedom and serenity that many associate with the Rocky Mountains. His connection to Colorado was so strong that the state officially adopted the song in 2007, cementing Denver's legacy as a cultural figure tied to the state. Denver's career also included a memorable appearance on The Muppet Show in 1979. This appearance marked the beginning of a lifelong friendship with Jim Henson, the creator of The Muppets. Denver's time with The Muppets showcased his friendly and approachable personality, and his chemistry with Henson was evident. He was not only a talented musician, but also a beloved figure in the entertainment world. His appearance on the show brought out the joy of both children and adults, and it became a moment cherished by fans for years to come. In addition to his musical career, John Denver became deeply involved in activism, particularly during the mid-1970s. He was a passionate advocate for social and environmental issues. One of his most significant contributions was helping to launch the Hunger Project in 1977. This initiative aimed to bring attention to global hunger and to create sustainable solutions to address food shortages worldwide. Denver's involvement in the Hunger Project demonstrated his commitment to making a positive impact on the world, not just through his music, but through his efforts to create change. Denver's career was not just about creating beautiful songs or entertaining audiences. It was about using his platform for good, connecting with people on a deeper level, and making a difference in the world. Through his music, his friendship with the Muppets, and his political activism, John Denver's legacy continues to inspire generations. After gaining fame in the early 1970s, John Denver created the song Calypso in 1975, paying tribute to Jacques Cousteau's ship, which was known for exploring and protecting the oceans. The song celebrated the beauty of the sea and brought attention to environmental issues. During this time, Denver also showed his support for politics by helping Jimmy Carter in his 1976 presidential campaign. Denver's friendship with Carter grew strong, and he became an ally in efforts to improve the country. As the 1970s drew to a close, Denver's interests shifted more toward activism. He used his influence to focus on protecting wildlife and land, speaking out for the environment and conservation. Denver also cared deeply about feeding the hungry and supported helping those in need. Additionally, he showed his support for NASA and space exploration, believing it was important for the future. Throughout these years, Denver's music was not just about entertainment, but also about making a difference through his words and actions, inspiring others to care more about the world around them. His dedication to these causes made him a well-loved figure beyond his music, as he used his fame to raise awareness and encourage positive change. After living in Edina, Minnesota, with his first wife Annie Martell from 1968 to 1971, John Denver began to make a name for himself in the music world. Living in a small town gave him a quiet environment where he could focus on his songwriting and develop his musical style. During this time, he wrote a song called Leaving on a Jet Plane, which later became very popular. Although he did not perform it himself, the song was recorded by the group Peter, Paul, and Mary, and it became a big hit. This success helped Denver gain recognition, but he decided to leave his group around 1969. He wanted to follow his own musical path, so he started performing as a solo artist. With his unique voice and gentle style, Denver's solo career began to grow. His work was inspired by his love of nature, his kindness, and his desire to share positive messages through his music. Leaving his group was an important step for Denver, as it allowed him to create his own sound and connect directly with his audience. His time in Edina and the success of Leaving on a Jet Plane marked the beginning of his journey toward becoming a well-known solo singer-songwriter. After takeoff, John Denver's small aircraft crashed into the water in less than 30 minutes, raising many questions about what caused the accident. It is believed that he forgot to refuel the plane before the flight. The design of the aircraft was such that to switch from the main fuel tank to the secondary tank, the plane had to be turned around and brought back to the airport or landing area. Because this procedure was complicated and required a turn during flight, it may have contributed to the crash. Some reports suggest that Denver decided to fly without refueling fully, possibly thinking he could reach his destination or an emergency landing site easily. However, as the fuel level decreased and the switch to the secondary tank became necessary, the aircraft might have encountered problems. The crash happened suddenly, and the reasons behind it are still debated. Investigators questioned whether the pilot's decision to fly with low fuel and the challenges of the plane's fuel system played a role. Despite the tragic end, this accident highlights the importance of proper fuel management and understanding the limitations of small aircraft. The circumstances of Denver's plane crash remain a somber reminder of the risks involved in aviation and the importance of careful planning for every flight. After his final radio communication, John Denver's words seemed calm and routine. He made no indication of trouble or distress, and there was no mention of an emergency. Witnesses who observed the crash site reported seeing Denver's plane, the Long EZ, flying at an altitude of approximately 500 feet above the water. The aircraft appeared to be cruising smoothly before suddenly dropping in altitude very quickly. Moments later, the plane crashed into the water, shocking everyone who saw the incident. Investigations revealed that Denver's Long EZ was a test plane, and it had a reputation for being unsafe and sometimes unreliable. This reputation raised questions about whether the plane's design or mechanical issues might have contributed to the crash. Despite the calm radio call, witnesses' accounts, and the aircraft's known problems painted a more complicated picture of what might have gone wrong that day. Many who knew Denver remember his love for flying, and how he often flew small planes for leisure, but this crash marked a tragic end. The details surrounding the final moments of his flight continue to be a matter of interest, with some questioning whether all factors were considered before attempting to fly such a test aircraft. The scene of the crash and the accounts from witnesses help piece together what happened that day, but the definitive cause remains closely examined. Denver's last flight remains a poignant chapter in the story of his life and career, reminding many of the risks involved in flying and the unpredictability of aircraft that are considered experimental or unreliable. John Denver, the well-known singer and songwriter, was also interested in aviation and flying. One of the planes he owned was called the Long EZ. This plane was built using materials like styrofoam, fiberglass, and metal, which made it light and sturdy. It could fly at speeds close to 200 miles per hour, making it a very swift aircraft. Denver purchased this plane from the used market, which means he did not buy it new but found it already built and ready to fly. The Long EZ was designed by a person named Albert Burt Rutan, who was known for creating innovative aircraft. It is not clear whether Denver knew much about the plane's full history before buying it. He believed he had enough fuel for a short flight, which shows he thought he could safely fly it for a limited distance. Despite his love for flying, there is some mystery surrounding the plane's background and how much Denver understood about its past. He enjoyed being in the sky and flying his aircraft, but like many pilots, he had to rely on the aircraft's condition and his own judgment to stay safe. The details about how Denver obtained the plane and his knowledge of its history remain partly unclear, adding an element of mystery to his story as both a musician and avid flyer. He continued to pursue his passion for flying, even while sharing his music with the world, blending his love of aviation with his artistic career. His interest in planes like the Long EZ shows how he sought adventure and new experiences beyond his music career. Many people admire his courage and curiosity in exploring new hobbies and interests that took him beyond the stage. Whether flying through the sky in a plane made of lightweight materials or singing heartfelt songs, John Denver's life was full of exploration. His fascination with aircraft like the Long EZ highlights his adventurous spirit, even as some details about the aircraft's history and his knowledge remain uncertain. Despite the questions surrounding his plane, Denver's dedication to flying and his love of the open skies are remembered by many fans and aviation enthusiasts alike. After John Denver's tragic death, a funeral was held in Aspen to honor his memory. President Clinton issued a statement highlighting Denver's contribution to music and his impact on many people's lives. Denver was an accomplished pilot who had been flying for over 20 years. During that time, he owned several aircraft and spent much of his life in the air. Despite his love for flying, Denver's past included issues with driving under the influence, which had once affected his flying license. However, on the day of the crash, he was sober and believed to be safe to fly. His flying history showed both his passion for flying and the challenges he faced. Many people remember him not only for his music, but also for his unique connection to the skies. His death left a lasting absence in the world of music and flying. The details of his funeral reflected the respect and admiration many felt for him, recognizing his influence and the circumstances surrounding his final flight. As news of his passing spread, there was a focus on his legacy as a singer-songwriter and his life as both a musician and an aviator. Throughout his career, Denver remained dedicated to his craft and his hobbies, including flying, up until the day tragedy struck. Discussions about his funeral plans and flying history continued to remind fans of his multifaceted life and the importance of safety in flying. His story serves as a reminder that even those with a love for adventure and flying must always exercise caution and responsibility. The circumstances surrounding his last flight added to the complex picture of his life, blending personal struggles with dedication and passion. As the nation mourned, people reflected on his legacy, both as a beloved singer and a licensed pilot who had spent decades in the skies. The details about his DUI issues, while part of his past, did not overshadow the respect he earned for his talents and his love of flying. The story of John Denver remains intertwined with his music, his flying, and the lessons learned from his life and untimely death. Many people have wondered about the circumstances surrounding John Denver's tragic death. Some believe that Denver intentionally caused the plane crash because he was going through a difficult time personally and felt overwhelmed by sadness. Despite these rumors, the true cause of the crash was not definitively confirmed, and it remains a topic of speculation. Beyond his passing, Denver left a significant mark on the music world. He sold over 33 million records globally, which shows how popular and influential his music was. Denver was a prolific singer and songwriter, recording more than 300 songs over his lifetime. His talent and contributions to music led to his induction into the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 1996, a recognition reserved for the most talented and impactful songwriters. His songs often reflected his love for nature and his desire to promote peace and understanding. Denver's energetic performances and heartfelt lyrics made him a beloved figure, not only for his musical talent, but also for his genuine personality. His legacy continues through his music, inspiring many for generations. The questions about whether Denver's death was accidental or intentional still linger, but his work and influence remain undeniable. Fans and critics remember him for his melodic songs, his dedication to environmental causes, and the warmth he brought to the stage. Despite the sadness surrounding the end of his life, his music lives on, inspiring countless listeners around the world. Every year, Aspen celebrates the life and music of John Denver with a week-long tribute party on the anniversary of his death. Fans and friends gather to remember his talent, his kindness, and the impact he left on many people through his songs. This event has become a special tradition in Aspen, where people come together to honor Denver's memory, sharing stories, playing his music, and celebrating his influence in the world of folk and country music. Despite the joyful nature of the celebration, it also reflects a deep respect and affection for John Denver, whose spirit still lingers in the mountains and communities he loved. Meanwhile, the story of his marriage with Annie Denver is marked by both love and hardship. Their marriage ended in divorce, mainly because of infidelity and the demands of John Denver's busy work schedule. Despite their separation, Annie and John Denver remained friends, showing that their bond went beyond romantic love. She appreciated the moments they shared and valued their friendship more than anything else. After their divorce, Annie chose not to remarry, as she wanted to hold on to the special friendship and memories she had with John Denver. This decision reflected her feelings of loyalty and the importance she placed on their connection, which remained strong through their lives. Throughout these events and personal stories, the community continues to honor Denver's legacy, remembering his music and the genuine person he was. His influence reaches beyond his songs, touching the relationships he built and the memories he left behind in Aspen and with those who loved him. Their story is one of love, loss, friendship, and respect, showing how the bonds we form can endure even after a marriage ends. As every year's tribute approaches, people reflect on his life, celebrating everything he stood for and the lasting mark he made on the world.